How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to go over how I decide what gold farms to do so I am making the most profit that I can. I'm not going to go over specific ways to do these farms, but give you guys some ideas on good ones to look for on your server. I feel a lot of people are just telling you the same old farms over and over and saying skinning is king right now, which it is, but I wanted to share with you guys some alternative methods so you too can find the next big gold making method. If you are new to gold making or just going with the trends from videos that are being made about gold farming, then you've already missed out on the best opportunity to make gold most likely. There are a few exceptions to the farms that are always good to do, but I'm talking about those get rich quick before too many people catch on type farms. Everyone needs to know what to look for and how to pick the best farms for their server. Just because a farm is good on my server or the servers I play on doesn't mean that it will be good for you. That is why I always stress in every one of my videos to make sure you check your server prices before doing any of the farms that I go over. Myself and many of the other gold farmers don't have a magic wand or any other knowledge than anyone else. We just have the experience of being able to know where to look, and if you have been doing it for long enough, you will also know the ups and downs of your server, which helps out a ton. That, on top of hours of testing and getting data for farms, is really all it takes. For instance, I can recognize that someone is trying to flip the market and control a certain item that gives me some options to how I want to go into selling that item. I pay attention to the daily trends on a handful of items for a few days to a few weeks, so I will know that something weird is happening to that item. It is one thing if the market is just resetting itself, but if it's a complete buyout, then you might be able to sell some of your stock above value because someone is trying to control it. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to sell off a decent amount of my stock at great prices for someone just flipping the market. Little things like this will pay off huge in the end. Now, I wanted to go over a couple of add-ons to help with this and start you off in the right place. The most important ones are TSM and Worth It. TSM is so helpful and is a great addition for my gold making. If I have any more questions about something, then I will look it up in more detail on the Undermined journal, and that's about it. You don't need much else to be successful with gold making. You will be able to see all the market trends, server prices, and sales rate to help you decide on what is worth it on your server. You can even hit the vendor search button in TSM to see if anyone has posted anything under vendor sales price, so you can scoop up those items for a few extra gold. I usually try and do this early in the morning or late at night because for some reason players will give away free gold every now and then. Take that even a step further, you can get real crazy and fancy like I do and track your gold methods outside in like a Google sheet, but that isn't necessary with these add-ons anymore, or at least not for those just wanting to make some quick gold. I did mention the add-on Worth It, and I think that's another great add-on to have for gold making, and it really starts letting you plan out what farms you're going to be doing next. This add-on is brought to us by none other than DalaGG himself, so huge props to him on providing us with this nifty tool. The add-on is customizable, so you can go in and do some different things with it, but my main purpose is to be able to quickly see any farms that I should look into on my server. As you can see, the add-on splits up the categories into farms, flipping, transmog, guides, and my farms. Each of these are going to have sections of their own and will even be split up even more from that. For instance, under the farms, there are mining, herb, fishing, skinning, cloth, miscellaneous, mounts, toys, and raw gold. From this, I can quickly see that on my server for mining, Serenite ore is the best gold per hour right now. The sales rate listed on the right is actually the overall sales rate for everything in the farm, so it includes all of the other materials you get as well. So if we dive in a little further, the sales rate for just Serenite ore is really 0.26, which is a really good sales rate. The information is being pulled directly out of TSM, so make sure you're keeping that add-on up to date. From getting this information, I would take a few of these top farms and add those to my list and check them out for potential farms to do next. You can start tracking by either adding these as favorite items in the default UI of the auction house or creating a group in TSM. Usually after a few days of data, I can tell if the farms are worth it or not, and it's usually how I stumble upon a lot of the farms I do share with you guys. Since I've been doing this for a while, I usually know the best ways to farm these items since I have covered it in the past, and I always recommend you guys checking out old videos because the routes are probably going to be the same. At the start of an expansion, the new materials are always going to beat out older ones because that is what everyone wants or needs, but soon after the older farms become more relevant again, and you can see that with this add-on. You do need to be careful and make sure that you are also looking into the sales rate because anything below 0.1 is going to take longer to sell. For my everyday farms that I rely on to keep a steady flow of gold coming in, I usually don't try to do it unless it's above 0.2 sales rate. That is just my personal number and doesn't mean you have to do that as well. I would also like to stress that the items it says you will get in an hour are just based off of internal data from the add-on, so there could be other routes that are better out there, so you may be able to increase the gold per hour even more. It shows you the zone location, and I have found that sometimes I prefer doing them in other zones, so just keep that in mind. This is where the My Farms tab comes into play, and you can add your own data to there so you can see the true gold per hour from the farm you're doing. The flipping tab is very important to stay on top of because these can come and go and you can make some huge profits off of it. For instance, right now it is saying there's a huge profit for turning frozen orbs into eternal water. However, at a 0.07 sales rate, that means it will take some time to sell. I wouldn't throw tens of thousands of gold at this, but it might be worth buying some up and throwing them on the auction house to test because the profit for this is really good right now. If eternal waters become less in quantity, then someone is going to need them for an old world crafting material eventually, and that's when you cash in. Who knows though, maybe this goes crazy and it pops up to 0.2 or 0.3 sales rate and it becomes a crazy farm, so you want to definitely be on top of that before anyone else is. That is why it is so important to stay on top of your markets and know what items to be on the lookout for, and these add-ons really help with that. There are also plenty of other farms and items that aren't listed on this add-on, so don't rely solely on it, but use it on top of everything else with your research and you will be in a good spot. I believe with Shadowlands, gold making has become extremely easy to do, and there are so many farms that can get you from 50,000 to 100,000 gold an hour right now, but with the right knowledge and setup, you don't have to be the last at the party and can get ahead in some of these gold farms. There are plenty of other gold farms out there that aren't ever mentioned that are way better than some of the ones that are, but there's because only a few people know about them, and they are the trailblazers doing this research and understanding their markets to know where to look for the next gold making method. Well, there you have it, guys. That is how I do my research on what the best gold farms are to do on my server. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.